today. Thank you. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, members of Bombay Toastmasters and esteemed guests. Today's meeting is a very special one for me. Why, you may ask? We are honored to have this joint meeting with Bombay Toastmasters Club. It is also my parent club. I was a member of Bombay Toastmasters for a while, after which stalwarts like Toastmaster Arvind, Brilliant, Toastmaster Sunil, and others helped us form our corporate club, Mahindra Toastmasters. And the story goes on. The wheel has come full circle today. I feel elated to meet with my parent club members, Parag, Arvind, Brilliant, Sunil. There are so many. It feels like a reunion. A very warm welcome to each one of you, and my sincere thanks to all our members and all our BTM, Bombay Toastmaster members who made this happen. And the president of Bombay Toastmasters, a special thank you to you, Toastmaster Pratibha Kamath, who is with us today. What we have today here is collaboration of two clubs. We collaborate not only to have an opportunity to learn from each other's successes, mistakes, failures, workflow, etc., but we also gain an understanding of the other club's perspective, get a chance to hear their side of things, their pain points, priorities, even the way they think, the way they work. I read this somewhere. With collaboration, engagement happens, and then empowerment. This collaboration is going to give us a rocking meeting and loads of learning and camaraderie. For the benefit of new members, BTM members, and our guests, this platform, the Elite Advanced Toastmasters meeting, is different from our regular Toastmasters meeting. Apart from the regular roles we play in a Toastmasters meeting, we have additional roles like the lead, the content and the delivery evaluators, and the table topics evaluators who will give us their keen feedback. A gentle message to all the speakers here today. Kunal Jani has already mentioned this in his message, but once again a reminder. Remember, we focus on recommendations more than commendations. That is why we are called an Elite Toastmasters, an advanced club. Coaches are not expected to use the CRC method. Hence, they can be critical with their feedback. Like we have poetic license, here we have an advanced club license to give critical feedback. But isn't that how we grow? Realistic feedback is what will take us to the next level. So speakers, fasten your seat belts and enjoy the ride. Interacting with our guests is something we always look forward to. I would request our guests, do we have any guests? Can someone help me here?
I'm not sure if our guest Hema is here as a guest or as a Toastmaster, because
Hema is my friend. Hi Hema, welcome. So can we have Hema on the spotlight? I would like to ask Hema, what is it that drew you here, Hema? And what is it that you're hoping to receive from this platform?
Yeah, first of all, very good evening to all of you. And thank you for inviting me here, Nirmala. Thank you so much. I had heard about Toastmasters Club and I was keen to, actually attend one. So it was great talking to you and landing up over here today evening. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Hema. We look forward to you being a regular at our club. We'll keep sending you the invites and hope you will join us soon. A gentle message again to all the speakers, be ready and fasten your seatbelts. Apart from that, when moving forward and into the thick of the meeting, I would like to introduce our Toastmaster of the day, a passionate Toastmaster currently pursuing his masters. He's an avid reader. He loves music and his favorite exercise is swimming. Wow, Kunal, I didn't know that. Currently serving as a VP at All Elite Advanced Toastmasters Club. His favorite quote is, if you can dream it, you can do it. Ladies and gentlemen, our dreamer and doer, our host for today, Toastmaster Kunal Jani. Over to you, Toastmaster Kunal.
Thank you so much, Madam President, for those kind words. And you probably don't know I'm swimming. I like to swim is because I have not done proper swimming since like more than 2 years now. Due to COVID, I couldn't do initially, and now here it's too cold in France to actually go to swim. So anyways, I hope I can do some swimming soon in some warm water. But anyways, that's not our theme for today. And the way you kindly introduced me is going to be my motto today, to introduce all of you so kindly, so that everyone from each club gets to know each other well. I'm sure all of you know, some of you know each other, but still, I don't know many of the Bombay Toastmasters. To all of you to get to know each other, and what better way by Toastmasters than to kindly introduce each other like we always do. So if you are kind enough to send me your introduction when I asked you, yeah, you will be introduced very kindly. But if you had not, for some people, you will be asked to do you will be given a kind opportunity to do something. So be prepared. Let me just start the theme by asking one simple question. How much does it cost to be kind? I'm sorry, am I audible and visible properly, Sergeant Arms?
Yes, you are.
So yeah, you want to say something, Sergeant Arms?
I know the answer that you are expecting is zero. It costs nothing to be kind. But I feel there are times when you don't want to be kind to some people. And it costs you psychic energy to force yourself to be kind when you don't want to be kind. So sometimes there's a cost associated with kindness.
The answer that I was expecting is true, that it does not cost anything to be kind. But does anyone have a different take? I want to hear some different takes as well. No, that's okay.
Yeah, I would say, Kunal, that yeah, sometimes it does cost, because when you're kind to people, sometimes it backfires also.
Yes, exactly. I see Parag raising his hand. Do you want to add something, Parag?
So Nivedita was trying to talk, but her mic is mute. So I was telling her.
No, nothing.
I think she's preparing for a speech. Yeah, actually, yes, Hema. Yes, you can speak.
Yeah, as rightly said, it costs you your energy as well as your time.
Exactly. So that was another answer that I was looking for. But yes, it does cost you your energy and time. But you have to wonder and think about it yourself, that is it worth it? What do you say? Is it worth it to be kind?
Many times, yes.
Many times. So sometimes not.
Sometimes not. I'll be very realistic here.
Yeah, sometimes we feel that even though we are kind. Yes, Vinay.
Well, I would say that it is your own willingness. And of course, if you are being kind, you are doing good to your own self. Because at the end, time flies. And later on, when you go in your past and think about why I was not kind, you don't have to regret when you are thinking about your past and all. So always be kind to people. Let them understand that, okay, during that particular time, this person was kind to me, though I wasn't. So always be good to people, no matter what we do. We are humans. We are tend to do mistakes.
Agreed.
That's
we have to be good and we have to do good. Yes, Chetan.
Yeah, sometimes being kind always gives you the sense of giving back to people what you have seen. Because if you have the opportunity to be kind, you are privileged of something, and you are in a situation where you are able to help someone. So
Okay.
at times being kind, it helps you, some kind of sense of satisfaction it gives you of having done something without expecting something in return.
Okay, so Chetan, I want to ask you something, that what is one deed that you saw that someone was very kind to someone, but that person didn't know the other person whom he or she was being kind to?
In my college days, I did see people helping out, so people notes or something like that. Somebody was good in the class, and the person was already good in academics, but he didn't expect anything else from the people who are giving him back anything.
Are you an engineer, Chetan?
No, I'm not an engineer.
Okay.
I'm
I
not an
expect
engineer.
engineers are like that, who study at the last moment and help each other out. But yes, that's an answer that I didn't expect. Yes, people are sometimes kind enough to help us study as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chetan. Yes, Sunena, you raised your hand.
Yeah, so I was saying, if we kindly say no, then all these issues which we are getting here, that it sometimes costs your energy. So if we don't have time or we can't do something, we can be kind enough to say no. We need to learn the art of saying no, and then that is a better situation, I would say. I mean, don't be rude, and if you can't help them, at least be kind and say no.
Okay, that's another valid point, that you can say kindly no, then they should understand that you are being kind by not being too much out there that I don't want to help you because blah blah blah. So okay, so another part of my question to Chetan was that, and I'll ask you only, Sunena, that have you, what kind of deed have you witnessed that someone helped someone who knew them, of course was a friend or a relative or something, but they did a very kind deed without even asking, without even them asking for the other person?
So, like, should I give some incident?
Yeah, we would love
There
to
is
hear.
a friend of mine. She is so kind. Whenever I'm traveling to her city, it is by default that I'm going to eat at her house. And now, like, it's been like 10 plus years. And whenever I think of it, I say that whenever you visit to this city, you have another house. So that is she did it for nothing, right? So that is a kindness. And when you are a college student and somebody does this to you, this is the best thing somebody can do to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. So that was indeed a wonderful incident. Sunil, do you want to speak something?
Yeah, actually, I recollect experience in my very first meeting of kindness by my evaluator, who thrashed the way I spoke. And when I complained to him after the meeting, he's saying, I was only being kind to you.
Wow. That's actually okay. So that was actually one thing that I was going to say next, that this is an advanced club and we here are focusing more on recommendations. So if the coaches are very critical to you, don't feel that we are being rude. We just think that we are kindly suggesting you to become better Toastmasters. So that is how I want to start this meeting and tell you that this meeting will be divided into 3 segments. First is the prepared speeches, second table topics, and third the evaluations, where you will be critiqued but with kindness. So with that, let's begin. And before we begin our prepared speech section, it's time to introduce the timer, our counter grammarian for the meeting. And we call our grammarian the language evaluator. Vinay, over to you. Oh, wait. You did give me an answer when I asked you for an intro, but you are kind enough to say whatever you want. So I'll just be very kind and say that I have worked with Vinay in the past. He's an excellent Toastmaster. He does everything very properly, and he has a very keen eye for detail. He was our leading Zoom master in the Eloquence 2021, and he has done a fabulous job there. And he's currently serving as the area director of J3. Over to you, Vinay.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kunal, for that lovely introduction. That's the reason I never give my introduction when asked, because it's good that people should give you the honest answer of what they feel about you. So that is what help you in improving better. So good evening, everyone. I will be the language evaluator for today. So my role is going to evaluate everyone's words, uses, or anything in sentences what they are using. And I will mainly focus on the recommendation part, where I feel that you are using a wrong word or a repetitive word where you can use something other than that. So I will be evaluating each speaker on that part, be it any evaluators or Toastmaster of the day or anyone from that perspective. I also have the word of the day and phrase of the day, which I will be also sending in the chat box after saying it. So word of the day will be herald, which means to announce or to greet with enthusiasm. So example, you can keep it as we as Toastmasters always herald our guests in every meeting. So this kind of example you can use. The phrase of the day could be full of beans. Full of beans means have a lot of energy and enthusiasm or be very lively. So the example could be today's joint meeting is full of beans, and I'm sure everybody can agree to that. So this is a word of the day and phrase of the day. I would encourage everybody to use it anywhere possible during their speeches. Back to you, Toastmaster Kunal.
Thank you so much, language evaluator. Now it's time to introduce the R counter for today, Toastmaster Dinesh Agrawal from Bombay Toastmasters. He was not kind enough to send me an introduction. So you have timer, please note 30 seconds. He has to give at least 30 seconds for an introduction about himself.
Presiding Officer Nirmala, TMOD Jani, it's my pleasure. I am a Toastmaster since last 3 years, and I have been a past JC member and also a Lion member. And by profession, I'm a life coach. I have 2 sons who are in Mumbai since last 12 years, and I am here since last 3 years. That is about my introduction.
Great to know you, Dinesh. Now you can introduce your role.
The purpose of our counter, as you all know, is to listen carefully to all these speeches and note if there is any crutch words used by the speaker like hum, filler words like but, like, okay, so, well, just, filler phrases like like Sai also used and so, I mean, long pauses, short pauses when not required. I shall give my report when called for. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dinesh, for explaining your role. And it's now time to call upon stage a finance professional. She loves painting and especially digital painting. That raised my eyebrows. She also loves playing badminton and loves to watch tennis. Timer, Sunena, please explain your role.
Hello, dear Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a timer, my duty is to time the entire meeting and make sure that we are running and conducting the meeting on time. I'll also be timing the prepared speeches, table topic speeches, and speech evaluations during this meeting. When a speaker reaches the minimum time allotted, my background will change to green. When a speaker reaches the midpoint of the time range, my background will be changed to yellow. And when a speaker reaches the end of his speaking time, the background will be changed to red. The speaker has 30-second grace time before and the green and after the red card is displayed to end the speech. In order to qualify for the vote, I will report the qualifying times when called for. Please note, we are already behind time by 4 minutes. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Timer, for pointing out that we are late. So we'll try to cover up from here forward. Something funny happened right now that the lead coach number 3 sent me his introduction. Don't worry, if I didn't ask you for introduction, I was not going to introduce. It is going to be done by the general evaluator. But I was kind enough to send all the lead coaches introduction to Atul. So Atul, please check your WhatsApp. And so let's begin with the prepared speeches. Our first speaker is Vasudeva Iyer from Bombay Toastmasters. But before, let's have up on stage his lead coach Sai to explain his project details.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. In the interest of time, I'm going to rush through my introduction of my role as the lead evaluator for our target speaker, speaker number 1, Vasudeva. Speaker number 1, Vasudeva, will be delivering a social speech today. His choice of social topic is a eulogy. And when I discussed with him what he expects from his evaluation, he asked us, and this is for our content evaluators and myself as a delivery evaluator, to focus on the content and cohesiveness of his speech. This is for the content evaluation that Toastmaster Vasudeva will receive. And on the delivery side, he wanted us to focus on the tone, the suitability of the tone he adopted to deliver a eulogy, and whether he had enough voice modulation to represent his speech. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Sai. And now it's time to introduce the first speaker of the day, Vasudeva Iyer. He is from Bombay Toastmasters, a Toastmaster since 2019, and he loves traveling and especially visiting museums. He has been to many museums, including the big ones in Hyderabad, Pune, and Mumbai. And he's here today to tell us about his traveling. Speaker number 1, Vasudeva Iyer. Wasn't it quite the journey? Wasn't it quite the journey? Vasudeva Iyer.
Greetings, all. And thank you for gathering today here on this cold, gloomy winter evening. It is a sad day, as we are all aware of why we have gathered here. We have gathered here to remember the sad demise of a legend, that is Mr. Vaidya. Mr. Vaidya was the union leader of the company that we all work for, which is Mumbai Steels Limited. And he has been in this leadership position for more than 30 years, taking care of all the workers and their interests till his very last moment. So, on the day when such a mighty person has to pass away, should we be sad? No. I beg to differ here. Because if we remember who this titan is, we would know that he wouldn't want us to feel sad. He lived his whole life like as if it was full of beans. He was always up with enthusiasm, with energy. Every day he would come to the factory floor, work hard, do all his duties, including going to every workstation, every employee, and talk to them. In lunch, sit with his peers, with the people who put him in power, and try to understand what their sorrows are, what their troubles are. Do they have any grievances? Personally, I have known him not for too long, just about 3 years. But I still think of him as having a tremendous impact on me as a young worker on the floor. My first meeting with him was during lunch. It was about 1 month into my job, and I was sitting having lunch with a few friends of mine. He came to me, he sat beside me, put his arms around my shoulders and asked, "Son, are you new? Because you sure look like one." And I said, "Yes." But then that is what the personality that he was. He came to me, a new joiner, and treated me like his very own, because that was his philosophy. I remember there was a time when the management of the company decided that they are not making enough profits, and that the only way to improve that was to lay off all their soldiers, all their workers, that is, and not really try to improve their operations. That's when Mr. Vaidya took the flag in his hand of representing all his employees and fought tooth and nail against the management. I still remember him going to the chairman and telling to his face, "If you want a fight, well, you've got one." When such an iconic person is there in all our lives and such a profound impact he has had on all of us, then I think today is the day to sit and recognize and appreciate his value. It is rightly said that we do not tend to appreciate the value of something until it's lost. And I really feel that void today in me, for I do not know who might come in his place and whether he would be able to live up to that position. But I have faith that something good might come, because for all of us, he is a role model. He is a role model in work ethic, in caring for your colleagues. And we should try to remember and embody all of that. It is sad that we have to bid adieu to him today. But I have to tell him, if he can hear me from his holy abode, that we will all meet him soon enough. But until then, he could wait for us with patience and bless us with courage and strength to move on. Mr. Vaidya, I must ask you on this day. It has been quite the ride, hasn't it? It's been quite the journey. Thank you for all your contributions from the heart. And you may have passed away from your physical body, but your legacy keeps you still alive right here in our hearts. Thank you.
What a great touching speech. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vasudev. It's time for a 1 minute of silence.